The WSU men's basketball season begins tonight. Learn about the fresh start at Beasley Coliseum.
And how voting results from this week could affect your roads.
Murrow News 8 starts now.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Corbin White.
And I'm Malou Santos. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
According to CNN, President Donald Trump must pay a $2 million fine to a group of nonprofit organizations. The Trump Foundation, which is headed by Trump's family, allegedly coordinated with his 2016 presidential campaign. The New York judge, Justice Salian Scarpula, was in charge of that. That ordered Trump to pay the fine, considered banning Trump and his children from serving on the boards of New York nonprofit organizations. Scarpula later declined to do so.
The affirmative action referendum is losing in Washington state. According to KOMO 4 News, referendum 88 was being rejected by 52% of state voters last night, but there's still plenty more votes to count. R88 asked voters to approve or reject the initiative 1000, which would allow being part of a minority group to be a contributing factor for a qualified applicant, but would ban mandatory quotas. The referendum would apply to public education, contracting, and employment.
According to KOMO News, Washington state voters have passed a law lowering the cost of vehicle tabs to $30. Local government is now scrambling for a new way to pay for road paving, light rail, and other projects. KOMO says car tab fees go to traffic enforcement and ferry operations. More than 60 cities have similar fees.
According to Spokesman Review, Spokane Public Schools have chose not to impose a fine for students who regularly violate tobacco-related laws on school property. Even the vaping crisis has increased. Sean Jordan, the district's Director of Secondary Schools, said that district is not considering to fine the students or penalize repeat offenders. At the same time, Spokane Public Schools is taking several actions, including individual group meetings, educational packets and courses, accountability essays, in-school interventions, and suspensions.
A common study practice among students at WSU may be in violation of the university's academic integrity policy. Reporter Andrew Baderlin explains the practice and why it can be considered to be against the school rules.
Find the policy on every syllabus. See the practice in just about any Greek chapter. The classic clash between study files and the academic integrity policy. It's leaving Greek leaders like Andrew Poulton concerned.
For the most part, it is a direct violation of the academic integrity policy. Most study files contain like old tests, old quizzes. So really the students who are using these study files, they're not learning anything, they're really just memorizing these answers to these questions.
The university's policy is outlined with 19 clear points that effectively reduce to two things: plagiarism and unauthorized collaboration.
In practice, big cabinets aren't stashing away essays or exams anymore. It's all electronic, and for a big chapter with upwards of 100 to 200 members, chances are someone has what you're looking for right on their desktop.
I definitely think the resource of helping each other in this community is definitely more online than a physical copy. Yes, I see people look through the study cabinets, but it's rare.
According to a survey by Kessler International, 8 out of every 10 college students admit to some form of cheating. Virtually all of them get off scot-free. The main safeguard in place for the university resides in Blackboard's SafeAssign. The software tracks plagiarism in electronically submitted essays and papers. So while study files might be the current MO for academic support, it's clear they toe the line and other options are available.
I recommend setting them up with older members who have taken the class, and then having those older members like teach them and give them better understanding of the material. That way they're actually learning it and not just memorizing it and practically cheating on the tests.
Perhaps the academic integrity policy boils down to just that, integrity. And with integrity, regardless of outdated study file cabinets, it'd be one less worry for Andrew Poulton. Reporting for Murrow News 8 in Pullman, Andrew Bartline.
Washington State University is leading a study to improve treatment of inflammatory diseases like sepsis, stroke, and arthritis. The new treatment uses a device that shoots nano-sized particles with cell-killing medication into the white blood cells that trigger the autoimmune disorder. The researchers also show the technology's ability at only killing the white blood cells causing the disease without harming other cells or compromising the immune system.
WSU Associate Athletic Director is retiring after 18 years of working at the university. Jerry Pastor was helping athletics, mental health, and he developed a student-athlete wellness handbook with Athletic Director Pat Chun and Senior Associate Athletic Director Brian Blair. Pastor also has been a part of the mental health curriculum for student-athletes called Behind Happy Faces and a student-athlete advisory committee.
According to the Daily Evergreen, the ASWSU Student Veterans Committee is holding a Veterans Day ceremony Friday morning on the Glen Terrell Friendship Mall. The Daily Evergreen quoted Associate Professor Mike Edwards, who taught at the United States Military Academy West Point, saying, quote, "I hope that the students at WSU and the WSU community will recognize that veterans are Cougs." The ceremony will start with a complimentary breakfast at 9 a.m. in the Cub Junior Ballroom.
It's the start of a new era for the WSU's men's basketball team.
Find out what you can expect this season when Murrow News 8 returns.
WSU men's basketball kicks off their season tonight with a game at home. Joining us live now from Beasley Coliseum is Murrow News 8 reporter Celeste Harms. Celeste, what can we look for in tonight's game?
Thanks, Logan. Now, I'm outside of Beasley Coliseum right now where WSU men's basketball does have their first home game, opening game of the season against Seattle University tonight. Now, there are a lot of new changes in place for the men's basketball team this season, the first one being a new head coach. Kyle Smith is new to WSU this season, although he has 9 years of prior head coaching experience as well as 18 years of assistant coaching experience. He's really looking to turn around WSU's prior game records in prior seasons. Last year, WSU went 4-14 in Pac-12 conference play, so he's really hoping to pick that up this season as the new head coach. There's also an entirely new court at Beasley Coliseum. Friel Court is redesigned this season. It features a gray floor and an anthracite border, and in the center of that court is the Crimson Cougar Head logo. There's also a new landscape design featuring the landscapes of all of WSU's campuses across the state, so that's some new artwork to look out for. In addition, WSU Cougar Athletics have said they're looking to add some new amenities as the season continues. And then finally, but certainly not least, there's a primarily new team out on the court this season. So there's only 5 returners out on the court from the 2018 to 2019 season. Other than that, there are 12 newcomers. Of those 12 newcomers, 5 are transfers and 7 are true-on freshmen. So tonight especially, we'll really be seeing that new team dynamic coming into play under new leadership on a new court. Should be a very exciting game against Seattle University. So as always, go Cougs. I'm Celeste Harms reporting live outside of Beasley Coliseum. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Celeste. The Spokesman Review reports that WSU football kicker Blake Mazza is a semifinalist for the Lou Groza Award, which is given to the top kicker in college football each season. Mazza is 13 for 13 on the season, and he's one of only 2 remaining perfect kickers in the Pac-12. The 3 finalists will be announced on November 25th. A debut for a former Coug coming up this Saturday. WSU alum Robert Franks will make his NBA G League debut this Saturday as a part of the Greensboro Swarm. Franks went undrafted in this summer's NBA draft and was signed to a two-way contract by the Charlotte Hornets shortly after. A two-way contract means Franks can spend up to 45 days on the Hornets roster, but 24/7 Sports reports that Franks is expected to spend a large majority of the season on the G League roster. Mike Bond is the new athletic director at the University of Southern California. Bond is the former University of Idaho athletic director, where he worked from 1998 to 2003. ESPN reports that at his introductory press conference, Bond said he isn't going to make any quick decisions on his football coaching staff, who are 5-4 this season, the football team is. Bond will likely also have to face the drama surrounding corruption and bribing in the school's basketball program.
When we come back, we'll tell you about the air stagnation advisory that's in effect in some parts of Washington.
John Lee will tell us what's in the forecast when Murrow News 8 returns. Back to Murrow News 8, we have John over at the Weather Center. John, the weather has been nice lately, but how long can we expect this to stick around?
Thanks, Sean. Before I answer your question, let me update air stagnation around Palouse. According to the U.S. National Weather Service, this is going to be happening until tomorrow around noon, but there's a chance to be extended through the weekend. At the same time, pollution has a potential to increase to dangerous level, and people who have respiratory illness should follow their physician's advice, and then State Air Quality Agency highly recommend that no outdoor burning and activities. So move on to today's weather. As you can, tomorrow's weather, you can see 57 and lower 38. Sun is going to be up 6:40 a.m. and sun is going to down 4:23 p.m. Move on to Washington state maps. Mostly like 50s degree, high of 50 degrees, low of 30 degrees, and except cloudy in Olympia, Seattle, Spokane, Pullman, except Yakima and Tri-City. And move on to 5 days forecast. As you can see, Saturday, Sunday also 52, cloudy, and Saturday there's a chance to be rain. Back to you guys.
Well, we'll be back after the break.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right, no employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no. This warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.